What's going on, everyone? Hope everyone had a great weekend. I know it's been a few days since I made a video. Had a jam-packed weekend, so I didn't have time to put out a video, so I apologize for that. I was at Monster Energy Supercross on Saturday, and I had a wedding yesterday on Sunday. I started to think about my long-term goals for this car, kind of what I wanted to do next, and just the general path I wanted to take with the G37. And that got me thinking about all the things I like about the car and why I really enjoy driving it. So obviously I really like this car. You've seen in my previous videos I talk about how great of a package it is and why I really enjoy driving the car. I mean, I even chose to keep this car over getting a C63 AMG. Am I nuts? But of course, as good as a car may be, there has to be some things that, you don't like or that you wish were different. Every car, I think I've had 10 cars, every car that I've had in the past, there's one thing at least, if not multiple things, that I didn't like. So while realistically I can't think of too many things I don't like about this car, I was able to pinpoint a small handful of things that I wish that were different. So the first thing that I don't like about this car is the fact that it doesn't come with much LED lighting. If you watch my previous video, you'll see that I have made some changes to that already. Granted, it's not too expensive to swap in some LED bulbs, but being a 2013, kind of an entry-level luxury sedan, I think it should have came with LED bulbs from the factory. I mean, I think it's kind of silly that the headlights are HIDs, but then the fog lights, which are obviously right below them, are regular incandescent bulbs. I mean, I have since switched them to LEDs. When I first got the car, the headlights looked very nice, a crisp whitish blue light, but then right below it is the crappy yellowish look of the incandescent bulbs. So again, not a huge major thing, but that is one thing that I wish was different about this car. So the second thing that I don't like about my Infiniti is that it didn't come with a remote start option. Now, remote start isn't that new of an idea. Plenty of cars, even cars cheaper than this one, have it, if not standard, as an option. So this car with the S trim has pretty much every imaginable feature that you can have. I mean, it's got Bluetooth, navigation, a Bose sound system, but it's missing a remote start. Again, a luxury car from 2013, as far as I'm concerned, should have a remote start, again, at least as an option. So the last two things that I'm going to mention, for me personally, aren't a huge deal. It's two things that can be upgraded, and as you know, I like modifying my car and upgrading it in pretty much any way possible. But for some people, it may be a bigger drawback to the car and something that honestly may, keep certain people from buying the car. So the final two things that I'll talk about are the slave cylinder and the rear subframe bushing. So the inferior kind of design of the slave cylinder, it's not necessarily specific to the G. It affects the 370 as well as the 07 and 08 350Z, of course with the manual transmission. And the problem is this design is prone to failure. So you do notice this issue more so under spirited driving, unless of course the slave cylinder actually fails. I personally notice it most in this car at high RPM gear changes, quick shifts. The slave cylinder doesn't allow the pressure plate to fully engage right away, so there is some slippage of the clutch. But again, this is something that I eventually will replace anyway to upgrade. There's heavy duty options available. So when I replace my clutch and my flywheel, I will also upgrade the slave cylinder. So the last thing that I was able to think of that I don't like about this car, and again, this problem affects multiple models, including the 370, the 350Z, and I do believe the G35, and that is the rear differential bushing. It's a fluid-filled bushing that is in the back of the subframe, and that, like the slave cylinder, is prone to failure. It'll tear, and then the fluid will leak out of the bushing and pretty much render it useless, and you actually will feel that when driving because the differential will be moving back and forth. This is actually an issue that I had replaced by Infiniti when I first got the car. So now that this car is no longer under warranty, if I did have that issue again, I would just go ahead and upgrade it, and then I would no longer have that issue in the future. So that's my relatively short list of things that I don't like about this car. I was going to try and come up with 5 things. People usually make a, 5 things I hate video about my car. But unfortunately, or I guess fortunately for myself, I wasn't able to think of a 5th thing that I didn't like about the car. Now, I know most of the people that watch this channel love their Infinitis, but if there's stuff that you don't like, let me know what it is. You can drop a comment down below and give your input. Let me know if you agree with my points and if you have anything to add for things that you wish were different or that you don't like about the car. Alright everyone, thanks for watching. Give the video a nice thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Please press subscribe. Stay up to date with all the content I'll be putting out. And as always, thanks to everyone for their support, for watching the videos, for subscribing. I greatly appreciate it. Alright, so enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.